and welcome to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So today I'm going to be showing you this Mother's Day card, and I actually found this Mother's Day card in the card making community on Facebook, and I saved it on my Facebook account, and I want to bring it into Design Space. I've already done that step, but as you can see on screen, it'll ask you to open it in the app and you have to do some agreements. But yeah, I already did that. So I'm not going to go through that. This is what it looks like when I brought it into Design Space. So it's a 5.5 by 4.25 card. Select for my particular taste. I didn't do the XO. So it comes with a panel. It comes with your, an insert panel. It's with the front of the card. And it also has this other, let me zoom out a little bit. So it comes with these other 4 colors. So you can get some options and you can select the best one to your taste. Now it came with the offset layer or the shadow layer so that you can build up the shadow layers without using foam squares. I think I just need to hide this because I don't need that. So yeah, these are the options that you have. This is also a print and cut. You can select on that and change the color if you didn't care for the default colors. So in order to do that, let me bring it back up so you can see it a little better. Is just unflatten and then select on the wording, and then just that will enable this dialog box to come up. We're under operations, and then you can select any color that you like let's say that color if you prefer. Doesn't really matter. I like the colors and I didn't really play with them too much. I did play with one. And then and then make sure you flatten it back again. So when you click make it, yeah, let's bring that up. 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So you get to use the full range of your paper, not just this little preset that they had. So yeah, let me go back, and I just wanted to, oh, there we go. Let me cancel. And I just wanted to make one observation, which I forgot. With this, I was using different types of white. So I actually changed these to another color because I didn't want them to be on the same as my offset layer. So I did change this to like a just like a gray color. And then I actually used my color sync layer here where it says color sync and moved all those white ones. And I actually did cut out 4 of these welded results and just moved it up the line. Now you can do it this way, so I'll do it the other way too. And then now all your items are the same color. Sometimes it's a lot quicker and sometimes it's not, but you know, it is an option. And then this way you are assured 100% that all the colors are the same, and then like you didn't pick another color next to it. So I'll just do this last one. That's what color sync is all about. That's a really nifty feature. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back to the layers panel. So this is a layers panel. So you could actually change your offset. You can do anything to customize this. You don't have to do it the way that the designer presented it to you. You do have options in Design Space. Okay, so now let me click on make it. You can't see make it, I apologize. I don't know why my screen's looking all weird, but so back to Materials, confirm. And the reason I wanted to make sure I had the offset layer and the actual hard front panel on a different mat, and I could have did it the other way too, is I was using different types of colored white cardstock. And this one, I'm going to switch to 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to select my paper size because that's what I actually had to, was using. And then these look fine. I think I only printed out 4. So I'm going to hide this layer. If you don't know how to do that, you would use these dotty dots, these ellipses, and hide this mat. And it won't print it because I only did 4, I didn't do 5, and it'll just skip over. And then I just kept these as is. I don't know why I have 2 of these. So you can just go ahead and hide that one again. Because I only did 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, that's how easy before you do your final print. And then when you click on continue, the first thing that we'll do is the print and cut, and then you would select send to printer. And when I first did this after the new updates to the print and cut feature, yours may need to recalibrate. I've already done that. So be mindful because that was a new change to for print and cut. So I just put on system dialog, click on print. I won't print everything out because I've already done it. And then just follow the screen. So whatever your preferences is for the material that you're using to print and cut. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to cancel the actual print cutting and printing. I don't need to do all that. Cancel. here. So I'm going to bring it in my work surface so you can see what I did. Okay, so this was the one that I did for this. And when if I had to do it all over again, there's a couple of things I would do differently. So, which you'll see today. I wouldn't use the 4. I don't like that. That was too much. That's a little bit too much for me. I might do, so the offset layer, they had 3 plus the top layer. So that makes it 4. I probably do 2 or 3. I wouldn't do all 4. Personal preference only. I don't like it. Just saying. I went ahead and embossed this. So you'll see how that's done. And I couldn't tell from the instructions if this panel was glued to the back. I didn't do that because I want my card to stand up like that. And because I was using Cricut cardstock and I was just using what I had, this is textured. So it's really hard to write a sentiment on that textured cardstock. So I put a white panel in here to write your sentiment. Or if I had to do it again, I would have, you can use your Cricut pen to write something in there like Happy Mother's Day or whatever your sentiment. Or you can give it to your recipient blank if they're, giving it to someone, and you can just handwrite your sentiment in the inside. But that's what it looks like. I'm going to pause and then take you over to where I'm going to emboss this. Well, I'm back. So I wanted to show you some of the materials that I used when I created this card. So let me just refer back to this card. So I used this, I think it's, yes, 6x8 smooth cardstock from scrapbook.com. It's called Playful. And I do believe this color, and that color. And I just also wanted to show you that it had a coordinating pattern paper that came with it. I bought it as a set. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So that's the cardstock. Set that out the way. These are the embossing folders. So I used this embossing folder, and I think I'm going to use this embossing folder. And I'll tell you why I switched. And I think I'm going to use this one instead, this embossing folder instead of this one. Well, when I opened the card, I don't know if you can tell, so this embossing folder wasn't as large as this, so it just left this. I don't like that, so it left that border, so I'm not going to use that one. So put that to the side. So I said I was going to show you how I emboss. I'm going to take this. This is the yellow from that pack. Now, I don't know if you can tell. I'll kind of hold it up to the camera, but there's a white core. So I'll show you this on this blue. So I'm going to be using one of my alcohol markers to cover that, but I went ahead and covered this so you couldn't see any of the white. I'm going to add this to my embossing folder. Yes, perfect. Okay. Then this is the sandwich. I've got this Sizzix texture. It's called Sizzix Texture Boutique. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to bring that in. And I'm right-handed, so let me move it to the other side just to emboss this. And I'm going to go ahead and do all of my cardstock while I'm out embossing. This is well loved. So, oh, come on. Yeah. Okay. Let me see, that looks good. I'm just going to run it back through the other way to give it a deeper impression. Just one more time. Since I'm not using any 3D embossing folders, this is just kind of 2D low tech. So I'm just tilting it. I usually stand when I'm doing this, but I'm sitting right now. Okay. I made sure to run it through twice. So when I lay it on that, that's what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna put that over there. Let me do this one. Run it through the embossing folder. And I'll just give that card some visual flourish, some interest. So this won't take long. I do have a electronic in the die cutting machine that will also emboss, but this is so low tech and it's small, and I don't have to do a whole lot to set it up in this session. So just bear with me while I get that one out. And the last one, and then I'll be done with my embossing. And I can go ahead and put one of these cards together. So I don't know if you can hear my pup Penny's here. So she's in the craft room sniffing around. She's usually laying down, but she's actually walking around. Oh, you ready to go outside, huh? Well, you gotta hang with me. I have my door shut, so I can't really put her outside. So I'm gonna go through this again. Actually, I need to stand up. That's a lot easier when you're standing as opposed to sitting. I'm gonna run it through again. Go back the other way. Alright, so those are the emboss. Whoops, I hit the camera. Sorry about that. Okay, Brenda, stop hitting the camera. It deserves your love. Alright, so I got that one. Yay! Okay, all done. Mother's Day's coming up, and I've got a few moms I need to give some cards to. Okay, so put that out the side. So we're going to start with this yellow one. So what I did was, again, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't use textured cardstock. But I did, so you got to make it work. When you've got lemons, you make lemonade. So I'm making lemonade. I just want to make sure. Yep. Just want to score this correctly. Yeah, and it's not cooperating at all. It's just giving me fits. So see if I can get it to to fold so I can. I'm not sure. And I use the scoring wheel, so I usually don't have this much of an issue with scoring, or it's creasing, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so I'm going to do both sides. Clean that off. So I'm going to take, now the reason, I didn't think about it, but the reason this came off so thick is I'm using a heavy duty Nina Solar White cardstock in 110 pound. And it's pretty thick and industrial, but for this, I use, it's got a little sheen to it. I use some photo paper, everyday photo paper that I had in my stash. I've had it for quite a while. So that's why it looks so thick. So I don't need to use 4 of them. So I'm just using 3. And what I'm going to do is glue these 3 together. So I'm going to glue the bottom 2 and then leave the pretty one for last. So I'm grabbing my craft glue. And I'm not sure why my craft glue is coming out brown, but it could be what the pen I used. But it should clear. And then I'm just going to stack these together. Like that, like so. Yeah, my penny's restless today. And what you want to do is make sure that you get them stacked and that they're on top of each other nicely. And like You could actually use foam tape to achieve the same effect, or you just use the shadow layer, offset layer multiple times. You cut it out more than once. So I'm going to turn this over and lay down a good bead of glue, but not too much where it's oozing out. Just enough where it will stick. Making sure I don't have glue on my hands. Oops, let me grab a chamois so I can clean my fingers off. So now I'm just doing it like that. When I feel, and then you're just gonna, I love liquid adhesive because you get a lot of grace with that. Okay, I like that better, so I'm gonna lay that to the side so that it will. Now I'm thinking the person who made the card, if I had to think the designer, I think she just took this emboss panel and adhered it to the back and then just left this open, which is an idea. But I'm thinking, well, how is the recipient going to display that? It's not going to stand up on its own. So in my head, I'm thinking this is where, you know, I'm using some poetic license, as they say. And Penny Monster, what are you doing, Penny Monster? What's going on, Penny Monster? You're making all kind of noise. She's such a sweetheart. So like I said, in my brain, I had some little bits still left in there. I'm thinking I want my card to be able, to the recipient to be able to display it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to adhere it to this part and then add this panel again, because this is smooth. This is this Cricut cardstock. Let me show you what I used. It's not smooth, it's textured. So this is a sampler pack that I had, and I'm like, well, okay, let me just use what I have. The other cardstock that I have in my stash is smooth. It's from Michaels, but for whatever reason, Michaels cardstock is like really thin. It doesn't even feel like it's 65 pound. It's not like copy paper weight thin, but it's not like it was when I was first buying 12 by 12 cardstock from Michaels. It's thinner, and so yeah, I don't know what the heck they did. So what I'm going to do is adhere, lay down some glue, and I'm not going to really worry about the little flowers all that much. I'm just going to let them free float. So I'm going to, make sure that I have this buttressed up against the score line, but not over the score line. And then I'm looking to see left and right, like that. Now I might go back and decide that that was a boo-boo, and I might go ahead and drop some beads, just a tad of glue here, so those will stick up, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to be very careful, and I'm just going to do a dot of glue on this, which I didn't. I thought about it, and then I did it on the first one. I don't know why I didn't just do it on this one. So let's see if I can get them to stick. And I don't have my glass block over here to. Don't do what I did, girls and boys. But just you can. I mean, it's not going to be. I would use Leo's method if I had some scrap cardstock and just paint it on. But I'm just going to gently fold it back. I thought I'd like it, but when I go try to put it in the envelope, these flowers will get caught and it'll bend it and make it look all weird. Now I didn't do an envelope. I'm one of my crafting heroes, Miss Rita. It's like I don't waste my cardstock making envelopes. So I don't make, so that's what she said, you know, you can, but you can buy it and it's more economical to just go ahead and buy pre-made envelopes. So that's what I'm going to be using. Okay, Penny Monster, let me let you out of here because you're ripping to get out of my craft room. Okay, Penny, here you go. Go. Ready to go? Bye, Penny. That tapping was bothering me. Bring that over here. That tap was bothering me, so I just let her out. Okay, so that's pretty. So this is gonna go here. Best mom ever. And that won't take much. And I'm gonna add some bling bling to the front of this, and this card is done. And then I'll just do the other ones off camera, because basically you're gonna do the same thing. So what I'm trying to do is get this centered as best I can. Not too far down, but just move that out the way. Just using my fingers to see. And then I'll put my block on there and push it down. Okay. And then for the inside, I took this, I just took some pastel yellow. It says Touch Minka, and just to break up some of that yellow. Really? Brenda. I'm sorry, not to break up the yellow, but to break up some of the white. I just did the outside of that, and then it'll sit right there, and that'll be pretty for my sentiment. And you know, like I said earlier, you could do a print and cut, use your Cricut ink, and add this panel, and you can, there's all kind of options you can have, or you can leave it blank, which is what I'm doing, and then I'll write a sweet note to one of my moms on here. And actually this will give it a little bit more stability, so I'm making sure I'm getting good coverage left and right, up at top and bottom, and it looked a little crooked. So let me stop talking so I can get this placed. And so it'll look halfway decent. Okay. And I love using this block. So I had glue on my hand, it won't get on there. Okay, I'm gonna close that up. And so I've got these, I've got multicolor, so I'm gonna add some to the flowers, to the inside of the petals. And add that little embellishment and bring some color to this. And I think I'll use some purple right here. I think I'll just use assorted colors, but I think I'll just go try to do the white, purple. Hopefully I have enough to do that. Purple. And here's a clear. I said white, but I really meant clear. Got a hair stray here. And a purple here. Now, you don't have to use these rhinestones. In my stash, I do have perfect pearls, or I have liquid pearls, so you can use liquid pearls. I just grabbed one. I think I have pop of color in here too. Where's that at? Yeah, here we go. Let me just bring this out. Oops. So I don't have, that's a liquid pearl. So I've got that liquid pearl in purple. So if you didn't want to do the rhinestones, here's a pop of color. I've never used these before. I've used my liquid pearls before, which I really like. I got a set of those. But I'm gonna, and I might use the liquid pearl. Let me hang it, keep it out so I can remember it. I might use it on the next group, just so not everyone gets the same card. So I'm using the Zig glue pen, and I'm gonna be picking up the rhinestones. I really like working on this side of my craft room because everything's over here. And so these rhinestones do not have an adhesive backing to it. Whoops. That was real smart, Brenda. So I have to use some, I'm using liquid glue to adhere them to the centers of these flowers. And I just think this adds just a little bit more extra special. Now, if you're adding these, you might have, if it's going through the mail, then you might want to probably use a liquid pearl or pops of color or something like that. Since I'm hand delivering these to my mom, I don't have a problem concerned with going through the mail, but that would be a consideration. And I'm not going to play with this too much, but that's the card, and I think it turned out really well, and my card will stand up. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm just going to be just me being honest. When it got to cutting out this D, I have no idea. My Cricut said, and no, and it cut out everything. It just didn't work. But I figured it's fine. I'm not going to cry. But I think that's a darling and quick and easy card. You can use your embossing folders, use your ink, put your print and cut, get a fancy dancy design, pull out some of your alcohol markers or your inks, and you would use everything and anything you had in your stash. So, crafty crafters, if you like this project, please like, subscribe, comment, and share to help our channel grow. And I will see you next time.